Can you remember back to when you were in school and you didn't have that swag that you think you have now? Have you ever noticed how many celebrities that right now we think are some of the hottest and best looking people say that back when they were in school, they were an awkward wallflower and nobody wanted them and nobody looked at them because they didn't know how to cope? What happened? Where did the glow up come from? This is Rekai Steve, nupefromdaville. Yes. I'm here to talk about Doctor Who Season 4, Episode 5. Can't even think of what the name of the episode is right now. That's where I'm at with it right now. However, it is the episode after the Sontaran stratagem. That was a two-parter. So episode 4 was the Sontaran stratagem. Episode 5 is the conclusion of that. There is a kid in the episode, an 18-year-old genius named Radigan, last name Radigan. He's running the Radigan Academy. And he is so, butthurt. He is so upset that he's been awkward all of his life. I don't know if he was on the spectrum, but he's been awkward all of his life. He's always been different because he was a genius. And he is so hurt and so twisted that he has teamed up. He has allied himself with the Sontaran to destroy the earth. Now, I've always said this about whenever you make a deal with the devil, do you really expect the devil to uphold his end of the deal? It's just stupidity. And maybe it's because he's such a genius that his common sense is not working. That's really the case for most genius. But he has this awful amount of hubris. He is not humble whatsoever. And he thinks because he is so intelligent that he's always the smartest man in the room. And he doesn't take anyone else at face value or look for the deeper meaning in anything, because why should he have to? The Sontarans string him along and they're going with his plan until they don't. But his plan was to basically terraform the earth and kill the 8 billion people on earth because he was upset. He's so emo that he was willing to sacrifice everyone on earth because that one kid that one time laughed at him or no one understood him. And he was given a bill of goods that there was another planet out there and he was going to seed that planet. Himself and 18, 20 other teenage students that he handpicked, they were going to be the beginning of the new human race. Why does being awkward have to be so awkward? We are all awkward. You find a lot of times that maybe it's naivety or it's not innocence, maybe it's ignorance. A lot of people that you follow on Instagram and all these other social medias who seem like the super cool people, the people you want to be around, are just as awkward, if not more awkward than you. They just happen to have a talent at one point or come into some money at one point, and they were able to do things in a way that made you want to leave the humdrum of your own life and be like them. A lot of these people are not people you want to be like. Years ago, there was a show that came on, Bobby and Whitney. Bobby Brown was married to Whitney Houston, and Whitney Houston was one of the most famous people on the earth. She had a golden voice. Bobby Brown had been huge, and he was the king of R&B, and that's when it was rhythm and blues and not rocks and blunts. And Bobby Brown, the bad boy singer, and Whitney Houston, America's princess, seemed like just a match made in hell. But in watching the show, watching the behind the scenes on them, the media presented us one picture of Whitney Houston, but when you got to really watch her and listen to her, Whitney Houston was a whole mess out here. She was just as ghetto and country, and she was way more advanced, I will say, in the dark side of life than Bobby Brown was. And everyone blamed Bobby Brown for introducing her to hard drugs and all this. No, it was the other way around. Whitney was a whole problem. You know, she told you she didn't smoke crack because it's too cheap. Do you have the receipts? Have you seen the receipts? Boy. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with being awkward. We're all awkward to some degree. And once you start to feel comfortable about you and who you are, you see that even the things that you think are awkward, other people will love. The best thing you can do is get out here and find your tribe. I've had some wonderful people in the comments talk about being awkward and autistic and a number of different things and how they felt that they didn't fit in. And I really, really do hate to hear that, because I understand being a military brat and we moved every year, every other year. I didn't fit in anywhere, but I was also of the mindset that I fit in everywhere. Wherever I go, I'm gonna fit in, and y'all gotta fit into me. Now, the thing was, I had taken martial arts since I was 4. I was good at sports. I was a genius myself. I was extremely smart. I never flexed when I got anywhere. But when the bullies came around or whatever, I don't know. I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I don't think I was ever bullied. And maybe I was, because it was mindset, but I always was in the mindset no one could bully me. It's not that I was bully proof. I don't think I was ever in any situations where I like ran up into a gang of people or, you know, the neighborhood tough guy. But just anybody wanted to smoke, I was here for it. If you wanted to play the dozens, you want to, you know, toss out jokes, I got jokes for your ass. You wanted to get into, you know, to the fisticuffs, you wanted to do, you know, throw hands, I'm beat that ass. I got trophies for whooping ass. Come with it. You know, I had a dad, you know, at the time who was a sick puppy, and we got more guns at the house than, you know, than a Texas dinner party. You want to get into some gangster shit, I was with that too. Now, I'm not like I was out here just in streets capping people, but, you know, at that time my mindset was like, it's whatever you want to do. I just want to play ball and holler at girls. You know, listen to music. All I'm trying to say is that, you know, at one point people thought I was cool. My kids would tell you the exact opposite, that, you know, their dad is lame and on the early side of 1,000 years old, and I owe Moses a quarter. I mean, they tell you that. And then they get bothered even too when other people tell them that their dad is cool. Whatever. I don't set out to try to be cool. I just try to be me. And these days, I try to be more comfortable than anything. I just try to be comfortable and go with the flow until things get a little bit more stable in my life. Anyway, we all have our moments and our periods of awkwardness. And it's not easy to get past at all. It's not easy. But you can, if you want to. You have to just take each day one at a time. Be you. Be comfortable being you. That's it. I call this Where Do I Belong? And really you have to figure out, where do you belong? We are afforded such a wonderful opportunity with the internet where you can find your tribe. Find your peoples. And there's a lot of people out here who are going to love you, celebrate you for being you. Find them. This is Rakai Steve, nupefromdaville. Like, comment, share. If you have not hit the subscribe button, quit being a lurker. Hit the button. Hit the switch. It's got to be about this. It's Gotta be about this.